Alright, so now we're going to work on the final image. We're going to take some of my canvas images and using the original image that rendered, let's tweak it and make it a little brighter, bring out some color, but I'm going to do a couple tweaks to this first. One, if you noticed, I haven't really talked about, is these two white spots. Remember I said to get my lights to work, I had turned on some of the curtains into my light emitter. Well, looks like it was supposed to be a curtain here, kind of like they were repairing the wall. Kind of has that look. Well, it's glowing. So what I'm going to do is we're going to just start off, and we're just going to use our stamp tool, and I'm just going to get rid of it. So the easiest way is I'm going to drop down here a little bit. Let's pick about right here. And then I'm going to come to the same spot about right here. And I'm just going to draw it out. But from a distance, it should look pretty good. Alright, so I'm done with that. There we go. Now I'm going to do the same thing over here. I think I may use the lasso tool. And it's about right in the middle of the window here. And then it comes down just under this curve. Let's see if there's a spot. Maybe this. Let's take this one here and drag it to about right here. All right, let's. I'm gonna move and zoom in on the spot, and then I'm gonna clean it up some. Here, I'm gonna release it, so if I have to go back, it'll only go back a little bit. Let's hide that. You can see some of the little poles that are going up right here. So let me grab the stamp tool. This window has the same amount of uprights. I'm going to Control E and merge it all into one. So let's try this again. Hold down the Alt. Let's go about right there. Looks pretty good. Let's get rid of that one. Got rid of that one. Oh, there we go. Let's do the same right there. We can just grab this corner here. Let's go about right there. Gone. Stamp tool about right here. And let's get rid of that one. Zoom out. Go back. Let's go fit on screen. And don't even notice it. Alright, so let's go over here and let's add a flame. Here's our layers. Let's load a brush. Oh, I already loaded a brush. 2,000 pixels, and quite truthfully, it's only about that big. Let's go up a little bit bigger. All right. There we go. So I want to create a black layer. Yeah, let's just do. All right, there's a black layer. Let's create a new layer. I'm just gonna put it right here. Hope if I grab a color, go yellow, looks good. The bronze flames come with a tutorial, and it says to lock the layer. Oh, right here. All right, it's locked. Let's duplicate it. All right, let's grab another color. Let's go orange, and then Alt backspace. Yep, it's right on. Made it right on top. It pretty cool. It said color burn. Yeah, that looks good. Let's duplicate it. Oh, actually, I went red. Let's let's go up a little bit here. I'm gonna go Alt backspace again. I'm gonna bring it under the red. There we go. Looks pretty good. Let's get rid of that. Just grab my 3 layers here and let's merge them. Oh, a little bit off on the one, so let's just bring it here, and then I'm just gonna erase underneath the can here. Alright, looks pretty good. For a faraway distance shot. Alright, so let's fit on screen. Let's merge it down. We're done. Okay, so I'm going to open up some of those images that I had created. And the first one is that environment one. Oh, my mouth. As you can see, I've downloaded Ron's acrylics, which I'm not going to use in this, but I was just checking them out. It's pretty neat. Alright, so broken. Here's all those passes that we created. So we're going to start off with this environment. Control all copy. We'll paste it on here. And I'm going to create an overlay with it. There we go. Bring out the blues. Too much? Nah, not really. It looks good there. Alright, let's grab another one. I'm just going to... Some of these don't work. I kind of looked at it and a lot of them had a lot of artifacts. I just didn't let it run long enough and I don't really need. So what I think I'm going to try to do is stick with these ones that are where she's kind of dark and don't have to worry about adding any artifacts to her. So let's do this color because I want to add the colors is what I want to do. Copy. I'm going to paste it on here and screen. See, they're broken down. Anything in here is going to darken it. Even, multiply. Obviously darken, linear burn. I'm going to go lighter. So I'm going to go screen, but here's what lighten looks like. But here's screen. Brings it out even more. But I'm gonna turn down the fill and opacity a lot. We're only at about 25%. Well, we'll do 30 there. And then I went down to 24. And then the fill, we're gonna go down. Let's see, we're gonna come down about here, maybe a little bit higher, just so we can see it. So we get some of the color in here. And you see some of the reflections on this side over here. So there we go. So we got a little bit of light going in the buildings and on the ground. Alright, so let's bring in the next one. We're going to bring in another set of those lights. Close that down. Let's open. Yeah, see how I had all the artifacts. But luckily where it's lit, there's not too many of them. I'm going to bring it on here. And I'm going to change it to a soft light. There we go. See how it really brings up the lighting, but it makes her dark. So again, I'm just going to drop the percentages here, just so we bring her back up. Don't need that much fill either, so I like to mix the fill and the opacity, because they do different things. See, it darkened it a little bit, but it kept the lights bright. If I get rid of this one, and that one looks like the contrast is off actually now. Alright, so let's bring in the last one. Let's do, which one did we do yet? Okay, here's another light one. This adds light everywhere. Copy it, paste it on here. So we have a different set of lights. And again, we're just going to do a soft light. See how it darkened it up, but brought in the lights around the overpass and the buildings up front. It gives them more light now too. But I'm going to just lessen the opacity. There we go. Because I want some of the kind of to blend in so it's not a huge blue and then all of a sudden really bright light. Darken some of the blues and it brings out the glow along her feet. Alright, everything looks pretty good here. So I'm going to do a couple more. I'm going to do a couple filter passes with this. So what we're going to do, I'm going to flatten it. And first I want to reduce or do the noise wear here. And let's bring it down. It looks pretty good. That's the weaker. Full noise I think is a little too much. Weaker doesn't look that bad. It is a night scene. I don't want to lose too much detail on the jacket. So where it's lit pretty good, you keep the detail, and kind of where it's darker, it kind of really smooths it out. So, you know what, I never took care of the top of her hat, and actually, let it run here. So what happened was, if in the earlier renders, it was actually coming through here completely. I forgot all about mentioning this. What I ended up doing was in Daz, sending it over to Hexagon, and pulling up the meshes and then sending it back, because I didn't want to use the stamp tool through the whole section, because I would never be able to duplicate this light and the grains to the bump map of the robe. So I ended up moving, like I said, the meshes up. So let's go right here. Let's reduce the going to quickly go right over there. There we go. Fit on screen. And then actual pixels, you don't even notice the artifacts. And when I go to save it, I'm going to reduce the size of the image, and it'll lose even more of any artifacts that are left. So let's go to Nick Collection. Color FX Pro always has some real neat stuff. And play with the lighting. I think that was the one I was going to do. Yeah, that looks really good. It really brings out the colors. I'm going to add a filter. Let's go over here. Again, the detail extractor was really good. There it is. Not much difference is there? You can really tell on the shadow of her face. Remove it, and quite truthfully, you don't really see much difference. Yeah, let's leave it alone. Let's not use it. All right, let's bring that out. All right, that's a little bit too much. I always tone it down a little bit here. Fit on screen. See, there's the difference. Let's bring it up a little bit more. Well, here, let's bring it all the way up. Let's go fill. And see what fill does. Now, see the difference? Back up to 100. I'm going to drop this down to 50. And I almost like the reduction of the fill than the opacity. We'll bring it down about right there. And we're going to flatten it again. Look at our flames. Not even noticeable. All right, looks very good. I'm going to close that down. Okay, so here's my final image. So I'm going to save it as this size. So this is my final large image. Now let's open up the original. There we go. All right, so you can just see how we just brought out so much more colors using those canvases. Pretty neat. Let me scroll through the image here and let you see some of the details that I had been working on that did actually show up. So there's the bedrooms or the motel rooms shot I wanted with some of the glitches from the action, and then some of the blacked out dead panels that I had on there. You can see no vacancy, really good. All the way on this side, you can make out the girls on the LED. You can see the green I put in the little door well. You can make out girls barely. Can't make out the name in blue. I think it was Ricky's or something like that. Bar. You can see the beer. You can see the guitar really nice. Beer. This is what's hiding the last couple circles. You can see how one of the circles is not lit up, and how I had the one kind of dimmer than the other. And then the LED up here reflecting off of the glass over here. And then obviously I had worked on the flame under the overpass. So yep, you can make out the shed now. Barricade, that little barrel post thing here. See him standing around it. Not much of a shadow like I was wanting, and I'm not really going to add one. You know, the flame looks hard to tell actually, but it is there. Actual pixels. One thing I did work on also were her toes. They were straight out, and her foot looked like it was floating, so I had curled the toes down so they look like they're touching the ground. And I'm trying to see anything else I had to do. That's pretty much about it. My volumetric cube really disappeared in all this work, but it's still a little fainter back here. You see, you get some depth. You are getting some depth out of it, but not that much. I really lost it in the lighting, and I think if I would have went with a heavier material, it might have been a little darker. Pretty much everything with this image, and if you watch this whole thing, my hat's off to you. This is quite long, and I really edit it down. And I appreciate you watching all this. Thanks.